Hello Wolves! The Umbrella Academy Season 2 is drawing closer, so to get everyone ready for the new season, I have decided to do recaps on every member of the Hargreeves family leading up to the release date of Season 2. Today's is number 2, Diego Hargreeves, or the Kraken. If you want to go check out the others I have done, please look in the description down below. So far it is only Lufa, but obviously I'll do the rest and it'll all be in the description of this at the end. So this is just a Season 1 recap on Diego, so it just focuses on his arc during Season 1. So for certain characters like Hazel and Chacha, they won't be explained because this is just a refresher on what Diego went through during Season 1 to get you ready for Season 2 and long-haired Diego. Get ready for that as well. Diego was born on the 1st of October 1989 along with 42 other children to women who hadn't started the day pregnant. Diego was sold to a billionaire called Reginald Hargreeves for a substantial amount of money so he could be a part of Reginald's superhero vigilante group called the Umbrella Academy. Diego, along with his adopted siblings, were trained to take down criminals. Also like his siblings, Diego was born with a gift. His gift is being able to manipulate things, most notably knives, during flight. As a child, Diego felt like second fiddle to Lufa, who was the number one, and clearly their father's favourite. A resentment built between the two brothers. In the very first episode, we get to see Diego doing his day job, or night job, carrying on the life he had as a childhood hero. While saving a family from a group of burglars, he hears of his adopted father's death off the TV, where it's been reported about on the local news. He decides to go back to his childhood home for his father's memorial. While there, he sees Lufa sneaking around Reginald's room looking for clues on their father's death, as he thinks it's suspicious. Diego interrupts him, letting him know that earlier on he took the autopsy report and that the report was normal. Reginald died because of heart failure, nothing suspicious. But Lufa doesn't believe this. The monocle that Reginald always wore was gone, and that in itself is suspicious. While Lufa thinks there's a deeper meaning to their father's death, Diego doesn't. He doesn't believe that there is a mystery that needs to be solved. Reginald died from natural causes. From this we can already see the tensions between the two brothers that has been boiling since they were kids. Later on, Lufa calls a family meeting to discuss his suspicions on their father's death. Like Diego, the rest of the siblings are skeptical, as the official coroner report noted their father's death was normal, it was just heart failure. Diego realises that Lufa thinks one of the family murdered him. This causes more tension between the two brothers, and Diego and the rest of the family storm off. While chilling, Diego hears music coming from the bedrooms below, causing him to let go and dance to the Tiffany song I Think We're Alone Now. Just to pause a second here, Diego is really good at dancing. It's a weird subplot that I think needs to be in Season 2, that he's always had a secret passion for dance. The dance break is interrupted harshly by loud noise coming from outside. Diego and the rest of the family go to take a look, only to see their missing brother coming through a rift in time. Number 5 is back. This day just gets weirder and weirder. The shock of 5 reappearing only lasts so long and they have to go to their father's memorial. Lufa is the one to dump the ashes and Pogo is the one to say a few words about Reginald. Halfway through though, Diego interrupts him to say what he really thinks about the man that raised him, that he's a monster and a terrible father. This causes a fight to break out between number 1 and 2. The fight escalates so much that Ben's statue gets damaged and Diego uses his power of trajectory curving to knife Lufa in the arm. You have no idea how many takes it took for me to say trajectory. I can't even say it properly now, but that's as best as it's gonna get. Trajectory. You know what I mean. Diego leaves soon after with Klaus tagging along. This is where we learn that Diego was the one that had the monocle, which he throws into the sea. A new crown comes over the police scanner and Diego gets ready to go. We see a flashback of the Academy's very first mission. A young Diego seems to be in his element as the Academy is introduced to the world. We also see the kids, Diego included, getting tattoos of the Umbrella Academy symbol on their wrists. Following the police scanner, Diego finds himself at the local donut shop, the home of a recent shooting. He manages to persuade a member of staff that he's a police detective, so he could retain what she witnessed, and he almost got away with it too, if it wasn't for those pesky kids. No, less Mystery Inc., more annoyed ex-girlfriend, Detective Patch. She tases him, arrests him, and sends him off to the station where he spends the night. The next day, Diego is led out to Patch, who warns him off interrupting her investigation. It's during this conversation that Patch reveals that Diego was kicked out of the police academy, and that Patch went through the academy with him. With a final warning to stay away from her investigation, Diego is sent packing from the station. Diego heads back home, which just so happens to be the local gym. In exchange for a room, he works at the gym, mopping, sweeping, cleaning up after the boxers, etc. Running down to his room below the gym, Diego notices a piece of fur by the door. Readying a knife, he throws it, precisely landing right next to Luther's ear. Luther had made his way to the gym to snoop on Diego to see if he had anything to do with Reginald's death. Of course he finds nothing, because on the day Reginald died, Diego was in the boxing ring for a match. He follows his police scanner to a new crime scene and helps Patch out, much to her annoyance, but you can tell she has a lot of affection towards him. Another family meeting is called at the academy, where Luther shares what Alison found on the videotapes. Grace standing back and watching Reginald die. Diego heavily denies Grace being involved with Reginald's death, even admitting to being the one that took their father's monocle. They decide a vote is the best way to ultimately decide Grace's fate, with Diego, Klaus and Vanya voting to leave Grace be, while Luther and Alison think turning her off would be for the best. The decision was put on pause as it was decided that 5 should be involved to make it fair. Although, well, technically Diego's side won. We have a flashback of a younger Diego struggling to get his words out as he has a stutter. Grace calms him down and gets him to say the words slowly. It's a touching mother-son moment. To Diego, Grace isn't just a machine that was programmed to look after them. She's his mother, the only source of affection in his young life. And next to Patch, one of the only people he cares about in the world. Diego captures Hazel and Cha-Cha in the manor and gets shot at straight away. Along with Luther and Alison, Diego kicks ass, holding his own against the trained killers. After the battle, Diego goes to check on his mum, who doesn't seem to have reacted to the gunshots or the fighting downstairs, and Diego realises that Grace isn't okay. He makes the tough decision to shut her down. This is actually a really heartbreaking scene. The show has so many, and it's not fair on my weak emotions. After the tough previous day, Diego meets Patch. She comforts him about the loss of Grace, and Diego tells her that the mass killers ambushed the home looking for his now missing brother. Luther and Diego try and hunt down 5 to get to the bottom of this. They find his van, and from that they track him down to a local library. 5 is found at the library drunk and feeling very sorry for himself. Being taken to Diego's room at the gym, 5 tells his brothers who Hazel and Cha-Cha are. The owner of the gym lets Diego know that Detective Patch called to tell him that she found his brother, and that she'll be waiting for him. Confused, Diego realises it's Klaus she meant and hurries away to get to her, but all he finds is a missing brother and a dead Detective Patch. God, this show hits you right with the emotional scenes. Diego goes back to his room at the gym, upset and hungry for revenge. 5 warns him off, but he doesn't listen. He took a receipt from the scene of Patch's death, from the local donut shop that Hazel and Cha-Cha frequented, and the scene of the recent crime. Diego brings Klaus to a veteran bar. Confused as to why his brother would go there, he follows Klaus into the bar, probably to make sure he wasn't causing trouble, but he was already in trouble with the other bar patrons when Diego steps in and helps. Bringing Klaus back to the car, he confronts his brother about what just happened, and Klaus emotionally confesses that he lost someone recently, hitting close to home for Diego. The pair head to the donut shop. They spot Hazel going into the building, so Diego follows Hazel back to a new motel where he places a tracker on the car. Diego, along with Klaus, go to the new motel, forcing Klaus to stay in the car while he deals with the bad guys. But the train killers outsmart him, slash his tyres and get away. Luckily for them, there is an ice cream truck on hand. With Klaus driving and Diego navigating, what could go wrong? They manage to hit Hazel and Cha-Cha, but before Diego can enact revenge, time is stopped by the handler. Diego, Luther and Klaus make a quick getaway, flipping off the hired killers as they drive away. Luther informs the siblings about the up-and-coming apocalypse. They discuss what happened and what they're gonna do, but their conversation is stopped short by number 5 dropping into the discussion. Literally. 5 tells them that Harold Jenkins is the cause of the apocalypse and they must stop him if they want to save the world. So the gang splits up. Diego, Alison and number 5 form a group, and the first stop is the police station to grab any files on Harold Jenkins. Thanks to Patch's partner at the station, Diego gets his hand on the file. From the picture alone, the 3 figure out that Harold Jenkins is now going as Leonard Peabody, the man dating their sister Vanya. The 3 go to his address to look for clues. Diego finds a pamphlet for Vanya's concert, her first as the first chair. Alison finds a very distressing discovery in Harold's attic. Dozens of pictures, comics and figurines etc. of the Umbrella Academy littered the room. eyes scratched out in all of them. Harold Jenkins clearly had a hatred for the vigilantes. Five passes out from blood loss due to a bullet wound, so Alice and Diego rush him back to the academy to help him. While sorting Five out, Diego spots Grace aimlessly walking around the academy. Obviously surprised to see her, he catches up to her and questions what she remembers. But she denies remembering anything. Diego and Alison leave number 5 with Grace to track down Harold and Vanya. That's cut short when police cars surround them, going after Diego for the murder of Detective Patch. Now locked up in a jail cell, being held for the murder of his ex, Diego waits, and eventually Patch's partner comes in. He slips Diego a key and leaves him be. That rhymed, that was not intentional, trust me. Diego and brothers, that definitely sounds like a country band, track Luther down to a bar. To get him to leave, Diego tells him that Alison is in danger and has gone after Harold Jenkins by herself. This gets Luther moving like the Flash. Unfortunately, despite rushing to her, Alison is already injured, bleeding out on the floor as her brothers surround her. Back at the academy, Diego offers his blood for the transfusion, but once he's clocked the needle, he's out. Realising Vanya is still with Harold and may be in danger, he tracks him down along with Five and Klaus. They get to the house, but instead of finding Vanya, they find the mutilated body of Harold Jenkins. Now that Harold's dead, they believe that the apocalypse has been stopped. They've done it. Well, if only. Diego uses the element of surprise to attack Hazel, but the fight and revenge is short-lived when Five gets involved and promptly knocks him out for biting Hazel. When he wakes up, Hazel's gone, and Five asks him if Patch would actually want him to act out revenge in her name. Diego is equally surprised to learn that Vanya had powers, but even he wants to let her out. He even wants to try and help her control her powers, but Luther held strong and Vanya was left in the containment unit, screaming to be let out. Obviously, Vanya was distressed in this confinement. Using her newly discovered powers, Vanya breaks out and starts bringing the house down on her family. Diego runs to the first person he wants safe, his beloved mum, but on his mission to find her in the collapsing building, said building puts a stop to that mission quickly by knocking him out with a piece of falling debris. Luckily for Diego, he wasn't alone. Klaus was right next to him, and with the help of Ben, he was pulled out of the way of more falling debris and to safety. The brothers make their way outside the crumbling house, and with one last look back, Diego catches a glimpse of his mum at one of the windows, waving her last goodbye as the academy fell down. Distraught, Diego searched the wreckage for Grace, the family member he was the closest to, the only bit of light during his childhood. But with some gentle urging from Klaus, he steps away from what used to be his childhood home. The remaining siblings stand in the aftermath of the destruction, and thanks to Five being clearly the smartest sibling out of the bunch, he deduces that the apocalypse is still happening, and the cause was Vanya. The group moved to a local bowling alley to discuss what to do with Vanya and how to stop the fast approaching apocalypse. Luther wants everyone to prepare for the worst, but much like everyone else, Diego believes they may be able to save Vanya, and there may be more than one option. He believes they could help Vanya save her, teach her how to control her powers. Which shows how far he's gone from episode 1, where he wanted her to leave the academy. From an ad in a local newspaper, they now know that Vanya will be performing at the Icarus Theatre that night as first cheer. Diego recalls seeing a similar poster at Harold's house. After some arguments and stormouts, the group plan to go to the theatre and apprehend Vanya. This sure to be foolproof plan is put on hold by members of the commission shooting up the place. They manage to escape down the bowling lanes and scuttle away to the theatre. Alison is used as a distraction so her brothers can catch Vanya off guard. This doesn't work, so they regroup, but the commission has found them once again. Trapped in the theatre, each Hargreeves tries to fight off the commission. Diego spots Cha-Cha entering the fight. He runs after her for revenge in Patch's name, but stops himself from going too far because deep down he knows Patch wouldn't want it. She wouldn't want anyone dying in her name. Joining the rest of his family, Diego and his brothers agree that Vanya needs to be taken out. The attack once again doesn't go to plan. With a simple flick of her bow, Vanya has each of her brothers hung up, her powers draining them fast. They're all released when Alison shoots a gun next to Vanya, startling her into dropping them. But it also startles her power, shooting it straight at the moon. Diego and his family are relieved. They've stopped the apocalypse and saved Vanya, 2 birds with 1 stone. But that ease is very short-lived. The apocalypse is still happening and they're all gonna die. If I suggest a solution, time travel. The entire family agrees. What's the worst that could happen? Season 1 ends with the family seemingly reverting back to their younger selves and time travelling. So that is it. That is Diego's recap for season 1. I hope you liked it. This is my first time doing recaps. I am doing a whole bunch of them at the same time, which is kind of like melding everything into one. So if I've done anything wrong, if I have, I don't know, like if you think I need to improve or how I can improve, please let me know down below. I would very much appreciate it, so that if I do recaps again, I know what to do and what not to do. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to our channel because I do videos like this every single week and it is free. Click that bell if you want to be notified when I upload. Check out my channel, check out the rest of my videos. In the description down below are social media and also the rest of the recaps if you want to go check them out. Comment down below what you think of this video, what you think of the Umbrella Academy, what you hope is going to happen in season 2. Any video suggestions you can also leave down below. And I cannot wait to see long-haired Diego in season 2. And I will see you next time. Bye little bulbs.